You might dread walking through your laundry door, so Juliet's solution is to get rid of it.
We'll not only make it beautiful, but make this space work much better.
How do you create an instant impact in your garden? Just add water.
There you go, look at that.
Fixing an old window doesn't have to be a pain.
Good news is, it's easy to fix.
In some older homes, back when open plan living wasn't such a big thing, it could feel a bit like a rabbit's warren of doorways and rooms and corridors. And out the back, yep, it's the workhorse of the house. It's often shoved right out of sight, the place you dump and run, but it doesn't have to be. I want to reinvent this, open it up and create a beautiful laundry/mini boot room that will be much more cheery the next time you put the washing on. Thanks, Willie.
No problem, Juliet.
This has served its purpose in here, but it's pretty gorgeous, and you would never throw one of these out because concrete sinks have become collector's items. So this one is getting a second life out in the backyard as a potting bench. Pretty heavy. When you're redesigning a space, firstly, you want to think about purpose and function. Take this corridor and wall, for example. The wall is blocking light, it's not structural, and it's not an effective use of this area, so it's got to go. That's why they call us the great demo duo, Scotty, isn't it?
Fantastic.
So fun.
I'm paranoid. I like a joy.
Hey,
Hey.
nice work.
Yeah, well, I'm with the boys. No fit. It was a freebie. Me and the boys, we looking hella sneezy. Take off your ugly shirt.
It feels so much bigger and brighter in here already. Now, let's talk design. Who says that just because this is a laundry, it has to be basic and boring? It can be functional, happy, and a pretty space as well. You remember before there was zero bench space. Well, I am creating much more. We're going to have an integrated U-shaped bench that's tiled. It'll have lots of very clever storage underneath and overhead storage as well. And just look at this beautiful colour palette, these soft blues and greens. They're very pretty and remind me of silvery blue coastal Australian plants. I actually took my inspiration from this tile, which is going on the bench top. That's a great decorating tip. When you're designing, if you find something that you really love, use that as the anchor for your whole design. These fish scale tiles are going as the splashback, and all of this combined with some styling elements will not only make it beautiful, but make this space work much better for the whole family.
I come from R to zero. I'm running low. When all reasons stumble,
Now that the sheeting's on, it's time to get the wall and base cabinets in place. A little bit further. Yeah. Already, with some simple caboodle flat pack cabinets from Bunnings, this room is starting to transform. And this piece I absolutely love. I designed it for extra storage. Scotty kindly built it for me, and it's going to make a really big difference in here as well. And now for the bench tops. So now for the tiling. How gorgeous are these? I absolutely love the colour, and they look like traditional cement tiles from Morocco, but these are more modern ones. They have a print on them, but it's an organic one, so it looks like it's imperfect and they look like they're handmade, but they're much easier to tile with. And I'm placing them on the bench top here. Now, traditionally you might put them on the floor or the wall, but this is a very effective way to get big bang for your buck on a small surface area. It's going to look stunning. Then for the splashback, I'm using these soft minty green tiles that are in a scallop shape, and that actually mimics the door as you walk into this room. It has that lovely arch at the top. But first, we need to waterproof before the tiling starts. These new tiles really make this little room sing, and you'll notice I've taken advantage of the shape of these scalloped tiles and left them exposed at the top rather than a traditional straight line as an extra added design detail in the room. I've matched the colour of the walls to this wall tile, but I've dropped the strength back, and that's so that it recedes away, making the room seem much more open and also making even more of a feature of the tiles themselves. Such a huge improvement already. Now it's time for the cabinet doors to go on, and I'm using this gorgeous blue that ties in perfectly with the benchtop tiles on the base cabinets, but because we want to keep it light and bright in here, I'm using white on the top. And here's a great tip for when you're putting your handles on. Because these are caboodle doors, you can pick up these fantastic handle templates from Bunnings that take all the maths and hard work out of it. So you just place the template down, work out exactly where you want your handles to be and which style of door it is, and then there'll be a little mark there. You just drill your pilot hole and you're away. Handles might be small, but they're an important design detail. Here I've chosen one that replicates the pattern in the tile and also just looks pretty. Loving that. Now to get the rest of the doors on.
Divided, we tried it. I don't wanna go through it. I'm gonna live in your pocket. You won't know I'm here. Next time we part, remind me that it never gets easy.
You almost always have leftover tiles after a makeover, and this is a very fun way to repurpose them as hooks on the wall. They work particularly well if they have a shape like this, and they're really simple to make. All you need is the tile, some dowel, a screw, and some clear construction adhesive to hold it all together. Because remember, this is a mini mudroom as well, so this will be the perfect spot for the kids to run in and hang their hats and raincoats and bags.
Cleans it up where they should get their payday, 'cause here I am.
Who would have thought that a laundry tub could be a design feature?
To a man making more on the dollar than my sisters around. I wanna
But this gorgeous circular one certainly is. The circles pick up on that shape in the wall tiles as well as the pattern in the benchtop tile, and by placing it in the corner it means we've got all this valuable bench space to fold the laundry. Okay, Scotty, let's get that washing machine in. Thank you. Fits like a glove. This lovely Roman blind softens all the hard finishes in here and brings out those blues, greens and white. And this pendant light is perfect as a task light in the evenings. And check out these clever storage solutions. These pull-out laundry tubs to sort your laundry, and then you can hide it all away because no one wants to look at that. Come look at this. There's a little cubby for the ironing board. Such a sweet little ironing board, and right by the PowerPoint. So convenient. Natural fibres like sisal and rattan are a brilliant way to add an organic feel to a room. They also help to soften it. And this open shelving is fantastic for organisation. Pop a few storage baskets in there and you can hide things away and keep things sorted. And the kids have no excuses not to help because it's accessible both sides. So they can come in, pop their shoes or whatever else they need in there, and the organisation's done. And this bench top with the sink right there is also ideal to cut and arrange your flowers, because flowers, they just make you happy. So what do you think? A way more functional and very pretty space. By removing that old wall, we've opened things up, there's lots more light and it feels twice as big in here. We've got lots of storage and very valuable bench space. Plus, it's just so gorgeous to be in here. It almost feels a little bit like you're on holiday. You can pretend anyway.
Water is one of the tricks landscapers use to turn a garden that's nice into something that's really special. No matter the size of garden you've got, it might even be a balcony, I've got a project for you that'll introduce water and turn it into a blissful Zen space. I've cleared a spot in our garden, or our pot cum pond, and I've gone for quite a large feature here. But you can see that it's in scale with this great aspidistra behind us. Now, the first thing I need to do is create a plinth to bring it up. That's going to make sure it's nice and level. Although this pot is made of fiberglass, it is going to need waterproofing. Mainly, it's got a big hole in the bottom. But before I get onto that, I'm going to insert our pump. Now, this is a low voltage pump, so you don't need an electrician. This one just goes through the bottom of the hole. Now, before you set the amount of cord that comes out the bottom, you want to make sure you can take the pump out to clean it. I'm just using a polymer repair kit that you need together to seal up the hole. You've got to make sure it's nice and soft before you start using it, and then you want to work it around the edge of the hole and make sure you go up that cable for the pump as well. You may think because your pot is solid that you don't need to waterproof it, but it is a good idea to give it a coat. Now, any pond sealer will do. Make sure you follow the instructions. This one needs 3 coats with a curing time in between, and the first coat gets diluted with water. Now, when you're putting it on, you really want to make sure you get plenty around that bottom hole to make sure you don't get any leakages. And yes, I said bottom hole. With our waterproofing dry, it's time to get our pot into location. Now, it's really important that you put a level on top of this. Don't just rely on the pavers below, because water doesn't lie. So if this is slightly off, you'll really notice it. So it's got to be exact. Now, to pick up any corners, I'm just using window packers to get it perfect. I'm going to line the bottom of our water feature with some pebbles. I'm using dark ones because that's going to give us a really nice reflective quality to the water surface, but you could use river pebbles as well. Now, no matter if your pebbles are clean or not, it's a really good idea to give them a rinse off. This is going to get rid of any residual dust and keep your water feature nice and clean. It's amazing to see how dirty these really were. To help our water feature nestle into our landscape, I'm just surrounding it by plants. Now, I'm taking inspiration from the aspidistra and using lots of lush leafy greens. We've got silver lady ferns, we've got a bird's nest fern, and then to sit amongst the front, I've got maidenhair fern as well. Now, of course, being a water feature, you could put plants in there as well. You know me, I do love more plants, but for this occasion, I'm going for a reflective look, so I'm keeping it nice and clean. Now, because we filled our water feature up with pebbles, it means our water depth is less than 300 millimetres, and that means we don't have to have a pool fence. Now, these pumps have got a little bit of adjustment on them, and I've set this to just a low burble. That's going to break up the surface and help to keep the bugs away. If you wanted to add more drama, you could turn it up, and that would bring sound into the garden as well. Whatever effect you go for, I think you can agree adding water makes it a dynamic space.
You can't beat the character and street appeal of an old home. But with old homes comes older home problems. And I've had a call up from Jess. She's been lovingly doing up this Federation beauty, but now she needs a little bit of help. So let's see if we can share some knowledge to keep this old girl going. Oh, so cool. Jess.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
I'm fantastic. What a beautiful home.
Thank you.
What's the problem here?
I've got some windows that need fixing.
Oh, let's take a look.
So here's one of the windows.
And it is a common problem. It can be quite dangerous as well. Like, you wouldn't want to have your fingers under there or anything. So I'm guessing that's why the stick's there? Mm-hmm. So the good news is they are actually easy to fix once you know how to tackle them. First thing we need to do is take off this timber bead, and for that, we'll just use a spatula.
Ah.
There we go. Look at that. Right.
Oh, you can see where the window meets the frame.
Yeah, that's it. So basically those beads will hold in this sash in place. So now we can just literally pull it out. With this out, now it's basically repeating the process to get to the back pane. Oh, nice.
Cool.
We're doing well. Now we've got all the timber beads off.
Yeah.
We can get into this little pocket area.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, wow, that's heavy.
Yeah. So it's basically weighted to the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's what allows it to hold it in place.
Oh,
yeah.
that makes-
Because there's the second one.
Cool.
Fantastic. All right. And so now we've got an extra step because unfortunately you did have the accident and the glass broke.
I did, yes.
So we'll take this pane and we'll replace the glass, and then we can come back and get the weights attached.
Brilliant, thanks.
Let's do it. All right, so to replace this glass, the first things first is safety. So we'll get this contact.
Yep.
And we'll stick it on, because if we don't have to break the glass, we don't want to break the glass either. The good thing is this doesn't have to be neat. It's just to hold the glass together, yeah?
Yep.
And then we're going to go around the frame and we're going to take out this putty. And we're just going to try and do that gently because we don't want to damage the frame. All right, so we'll see if we can loosen it. Yeah, look at that.
Oh wow.
Coming, yep. So just gently,
Yeah.
just work, see if we can get that set. Nice. So we just work our way around the edges.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then that's it. And then we just slide it out. Just be careful there, Jess. And there we go. Well, that
Wow.
wasn't too bad, was it?
No, not at all.
And so now you can see, we can now just go around and we need to clean out these rebates. There's a groove up the top.
Yeah.
Because the glass slides into that top part and then sits on the rebate all the way around.
Okay.
Take some time. Because you enjoyed it so much, I'll allow you to do the rest of cleaning this up and I'll go get the new piece of glass.
Cool.
All right, fantastic.
You're living in my haunted heart. Faded sunset brought back to life by clap of thunder. My heart is the house that your step has set on fire. Lost into the dance.
Oh, Jess, look how good that looks.
Yeah, all done, ready for the glass.
All right. Now, there's a few things when we do come to getting the glass cut. So basically for the size, you just want to take off around 5 mil. That will give you about 2.5 mil play all the way around.
Yeah.
But also, it's important to get the same thickness glass. So then we know that this window pane is going to weigh exactly the same, and those weights that are in that window we can reuse.
Okay.
All right? Well, let's try it out.
You think you're better than me, and I'm so insignificant.
And we can slowly just lower it down.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then so it's all gentle and we know we're not going to break our new piece of glass. The old windows did have nails in them, but this time we're just going to use these little glazing pins.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we'll put a few of them around all the 3 sides and then we can start reputtying.
Upon my own 2 feet, now I know I'm not wrong and I'm strong.
So if you pick up a spatula, put it to the timbers underneath and then pull back. And I'll work my way along. Once I've got it all the way in, then I'll try and smooth it out.
Don't call up my brother just to ask if I'm home. We don't like that. I'm a cold hard catch. Let me introduce you to you call me in the evening when you know I'm alone. Don't call up my brother just to ask if I'm home. We don't like that. I'm a cold hard catch.
How much better does that look without the broken glass?
So much better.
All right, so now we just need to put it back together exactly the same way we pulled it apart.
Okay.
But this time we're going to put a rope in that isn't broken. So we're using a 6mm rope because that's what came off the last one. And the little tip here is just use some string line, a thinner string.
Yeah.
And I'm going to feed this through
Yeah.
and then you'll grab it.
Oh, I can see it.
Yay. Have that.
Aha.
Yeah, nice. We'll just tie a knot on this end so we don't lose it in the pocket. But now we do exactly the same on this side, and then we're going to get our weights. We'll attach our weights first, then we're going to pull this string all the way up so the weight's up the top.
Yeah.
And then we can attach this to the side of our window sash. And so now we can sit them back in our pocket. All right, so once it's in, and you can even test it now. So now we can put the cover back on this pocket and we can put our first row of beading in and then just work our way back into the house. Because when we started in the house and worked out, and now we're working from outside back in. All right, Jess, so I'll get you to hold the ropes out the way
Yeah.
and then we're going to sit this sash back in
Yeah.
and I'll hold this in place so you can get a tack in.
Okay.
So it's always good if you've got a friend to help you out.
Is it fate? Is it destiny? I'm a Virgo Sagittarius that's losing her best girl mentality. I get the best of me. Get in the best.
How easy was that?
Yes, good, yeah?
Yeah, I've definitely learnt something today. Thank you, Adam.
Oh, no worries, that's fantastic. But we haven't seen if the window works yet.
That's true.
Let's test it out. Look at that.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you.
Too easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, there is some touch-ups that you obviously have to do. You've got to repaint this window.
Yeah.
But that putty does take 4 to 6 weeks to dry.
Okay.
So I think if you do a window a week, by the time you get to the end,
Yep.
yeah, that's 5 weeks later, you can come back. And you know what? Because I'm such a gentleman, I even got you the paint and the paintbrush. You start
you.
painting this one and then work your way along.
Very much.